fair girl advanced and bent over me till I could feel the movement of her breath upon me. Sweet it was in one sense, honey sweet, and sent the same tingling through the nerves as her voice, but with a bitter underlying the sweet, a bitter offensiveness, as one smells in blood. I was afraid to raise my eyelids, but I looked out and saw perfectly under the lashes. The girl went on her knees and bent over me, simply gloating. There was a deliberate voluptuousness which was both thrilling and repulsive. And as she arched her neck, she actually licked her lips like an animal, till I could see in the moonlight the moisture shining on the scarlet lips and on the red tongue as it lapped the white, sharp teeth. Lower and lower went her head as the lips went below the range of my mouth and chin, and seemed about to fasten on my throat. She paused, and I could hear the churning sound of her tongue as it licked the teeth and lips. I lay quiet, looking out onto my eyelashes in an agony of delightful anticipation.
Listen to them, the children of the night. What music
From the D&E Studios, welcome to the sexiest show on the internet, the Dracula Podcast. I am Lancaster of the House Titmus, or Lancaster for short. Thank you to Adam Stover, Rob and Martha of Southgate Media, and most of all you for listening. We aim to bring you thoughtful and stimulating media reviewing the films, books, music, plays, and personalities that make Stoker's creation so beloved. The criticism to inform your purchasing decisions, interesting guests, and all fun and games in between. Be sure to drop us a line at audio.dracula@gmail.com. Also on Twitter and Facebook at Audio Dracula and Dracula Audio, no spaces. Be sure to remember that at drakesnestentertainment.com we've got Dracula the audio drama ready and available for purchase this holiday season. Oh my. But no more delays. Here he is in the rich fruitiness of his sumptuous tones, Lawrence. Thank you, Lancaster. I am Lawrence Burgess, or LB, and welcome, folks, to the Dracula Podcast, the sexiest show on the internet. And don't forget, we're all over the place. Don't forget that we are brought to you by the Foxborough and Tops Off Barbershop, both in Charleston, West Virginia, and we thank them for being such loyal sponsors. We hope you're doing well this holiday season. If you're going out for Black Friday, be nice to each other. Don't drive angry, and it will be there when it's over. If you don't get that extra special 2 cents off with the PlayStation 4, don't worry about it, because the PS4 will be on sale elsewhere, possibly online. So from us to you here at the Dracula Podcast, please be careful, don't do drugs, and pimpinate easy. Wouldn't you agree with that, Lancaster? I absolutely would. It would be awful if someone got injured. So what are your Black Friday plans? Well, I'm not sure. I haven't decided whether I'm going to stay here or go out and congregate into the public. I see that Best Buy, Target, and Wally World all have deals. Wally World. Yes, the Wart of the Mall, or Walmart as you call it over here. I don't know, I don't like going out there. It seems like a social experiment every time I go to Walmart. Shorty shorts on ladies and men who are absolutely inappropriate. There was a woman there with no shirt on. It was so disgusting. It wasn't like looking at Playboy, not at all. Welcome. We thank you all for tuning and joining in. We're the best show on the internet, and it's all because of you. We appreciate your feedback, your listenership, and your loyalty. We've got an interesting show for you today. Most importantly, I want to catch you all up on Season 3 of Penny Dreadful. There's been a big gap in between, so there's time for some news to leak, and we'd like to share that with you into one condensed segment here at the Dracula Podcast. Another thing, we have a movie review coming later, and it's not something you would expect from us. Let me preface it with this. This movie will change your life. It will change the way you view cinema and life forever. It is so transcendent. It is so awesome in its sheer power that you won't be able to pick yourself off the ground. It is that powerful. And I'll just leave you with that before we go right into Penny Dreadful. But first, a couple orders of business. Lancaster, you ready over there? Oh, yes. It's time for news from around the globe. First off, we start by an article from Brian Gallagher from MovieWeb.com, November 17th of this year. The title is Universal Reveals Monster Plans for Mummy, Dracula, and Frankenstein. The gist of it is that they're creating their own cinematic universe in the scope of Marvel or DC. They're relaunching classic genre icons like the Mummy, Van Helsing, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Wolfman. Chris Morgan, also, who is heading this franchise with Alex Kurtzman, said the following, and we quote, "The characters will interact with each other across movies. We're incubating it at the moment and we're taking the time to get it right." He also said, "This is not a heightened world. We're exploring issues of family, identity, and questions of where do I belong in the world." The next quote is, "We're creating a mythology, so we're looking at this canon and thinking, what are the rules? What can we break and what are the ones that are untouchable? The idea is that we have a deep bench of brains to consult with about how their monster fits into our world as we go forward." The final quote in the article is, "Heroes tend to be perfect, but most people in the audience are..." I can't even finish the quote. My goodness, he's not really saying anything, is he? No, it isn't. What does it say about movie releases? Well, it looks like here the production on a Mummy reboot has started for March 24th, 2017, and films on Dracula, Van Helsing, Bride of Frankenstein, and the Wolfman are set to follow. They also haven't confirmed which project will come after The Mummy, but it's clear the studio has a plan in place that a monster franchise could last for many years. But there's no mention here of one of your favorite movies, Dracula Untold. So they're ignoring it. Yes, they are. As they should. If you've listened in to our previous review of Dracula Untold, you know how boring it is. It has a bad script, bad director, good cast, but it really didn't matter. The villain was not good. It could have been anyone. Dracula could have fought George Washington to Barack Obama to George Bush to your neighbor from across the street, and it really wouldn't have mattered. It was not good. It really wasn't. It was a snooze. Lancaster, I haven't talked to you about Dracula Untold specifically. Yes, I don't really remember much of it. I fell asleep within the first few minutes of it. They tried to combine elements of Vlad the Impaler and Dracula, which is a no-no to start off with. They tried to give him a romantic pull, which is a second no-no, and then it kept going down from there. It actually took good actors and made them look bad. It took a little bit of the mythology from the Castlevania franchise, which I thought was a decent idea, but it didn't matter. It was just a hot mess. And if you want to listen in on how we nailed that one down, go ahead back into our archives and listen to Dracula Untold. So, Lancaster, I hear you have something special for us. Well, it is near Christmas, actually. So I thought I'd do an extra special dramatic reading for this holiday season. In the same style as the others. Oh, absolutely. We've had tons of good responses. And you have a friend of yours who I'd like to dedicate this next part to. Who's the friend? Mr. John Johnson actually played Charles Dickens, did he not, in A Christmas Carol? He did indeed. Well, it gave me an idea of what Dickens' words actually must be like, so I translated it into Gazoogle.com, and it was so interesting that I just couldn't stop myself. It's fantastic. All right, Lancaster. Would you mind some dramatic music in the background, please? Is it possible to change it up with something more holiday-related? I want it to be a little more beautiful, something that the children really can enjoy. Because as you know, these dramatic readings are for children first and everyone else second. Oh, lovely. Here we go. Stave 1. Marley's Ghost. Marley was dead to begin with. There is no diggity whatever about this shit. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the shizzle mourner and shit. Right back up in your motherfucking. Scrooge signed it for reals, and Scrooge's name was fat upon change for anything his schmoove ass chose to put his hand to. Old school Marley was as dead as a thugged out doornail. Mind, homie, I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what the f there is particularly dead on some thugged out doornail. I might done been inclined, my dirty ass, to regard a cold-ass little coffin nail as the deadest piece of ironmongery up in the trade. But the wisdom of our ancestors is up in the simile, and my unhallowed hands shall not disturb it, or the country's done for. This ain't no joke. Your ass will therefore permit me to repeat emphatically that Marley was as dead as a thugged out doornail. Scrooge knew the thug was dead, B.I. Of course the roughneck done did. Y'all know that shit, motherfucker. How the fuck would it be otherwise, B.I.?
Oh no!
Scrooge and that thug was partners, so I don't give a fuck. How the fuck? Enough years. Right back up in your motherfucker.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Scrooge was his sole executor, his sole administrator, his sole assign, his sole residuary legatee, his sole player, his sole mourner, and shiznit for reals. And even Scrooge was not so dreadfully cut up by the f***up event, yo, but that the thug was a pimpin' player of business, up in the straight-up, on the straight-up dizzle of the funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain. I ain't talking about chicken and gravy, B.I. The mention of Marley's funeral brings me back to the point I started from. There is no diggity that Marley was dead as f***ing fried chicken.
Oh man, that's pathetic. That's not funny. That's not funny.
I ain't talking about chicken and gravy, B.I. This must be distinctly understood, or not a god thing straight up dope can come of the rap I be going to relent. If we was not perfectly convinced that the Hamlet's father took a dirt nap before the play started, there would not be a god thing more remarkable up in his cold ass, taking a stroll at night, up in an easterly wind, upon his own ramparts, than there would be in any other middle-aged gentleman rashly turning up after dark in a funky ass breezy spot, say St. Paul's Church Lodge for instizzle, literally to astonish his son's weak mind. Fantastic, thunderous applause! I just love these dramatic readings. They give me purpose and life. Thank you. And now, back to Lawrence.
All right, folks, that's Lancaster of the House Titmus doing the dramatic readings which you so love. And if you want us to keep us up or give us some ideas on what you would like for Lancaster to say in his sumptuous tones, be sure to let us know at audio.dracula@gmail.com. So we're going to take a little break right now, and here's the words from our sponsors.
Sister, come to us.
In fear, I turned to my poor Madamina, and my heartless gladness leapt like flame. For oh, the terror in her sweet eyes, the repulsion, the horror told a story to my heart that was all of hope. God be saint, she was not yet of sin. I seized some of the firewood which was by me, and holding out some of the wafer, advanced on them towards the fire. They drew back before me and laughed their low, horrid laugh. Back! Away, say I! In the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, remove yourselves from this so hallowed circle! Begone, you evil vampires! Hellcats, I rebuke thee, you hosts of darkness! Remove yourselves! Begone, you vile creatures of hell! I banish thee, hosts of darkness, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit! Be gone!
And that was a sample from Dracula the audio drama, available right now at drakesnestentertainment.com. Dracula the audio drama, 16.7 hours. Full sound effects, full musical score, full voice cast, the works of Dracula the audio drama. And worst case scenario, it is the best version of Dracula ever produced, because it comes from Stoker. Right now, drakesnestentertainment.com, $39.99. Dracula the audio drama. Avoid the holiday madness. Download that bad boy right now. Alright folks, here it is. This is our subcast, entitled Casting Dread, The Penny Dreadful Show. So we've hit you pretty hard with seasons 1 and 2, but there's been quite a lot of movement on the Penny Dreadful news front for season 3. So where do we start? We're going to start in with the characters. We're going to see if we can unveil some patterns on its possible forecast for us. Let's start with the deceased characters. In season 1, Brona Croft, Fenton, Professor Van Helsing, the first Master Vampire, Mina Murray, and Proteus all died. Brona Croft passed away. Yes, she was resurrected later as Lily Frankenstein, but I do consider that a death. We have 4 Dracula-related characters die in the first season. Fenton, which is the Renfield replacement, Professor Van Helsing, the first Master Vampire, and of course Mina Murray, Sir Malcolm's daughter. Everyone's interconnected. The second one to suffer is Brona Croft, who affects Ethan Chandler and later on Victor Frankenstein. Speaking of Victor Frankenstein, he lost Proteus to come back with the Creature or Caliban or John Clare. I prefer to call him the Creature, and sometimes I'll call him Caliban. I really like that name very much. In season 2, the deaths went up even more. Angelique, Mr. Roper, Oscar and Octavia Putney, Sembeni, Evelyn Poole, Gladys Murray, and 2 other witches passed away. So what does that mean? It means the Creature goes on a tear, and seemingly that no one is safe. Although we took odds on who was going to die before the last episode hit, Evelyn Poole was at the top, and she got whacked. I'm very surprised that Victor Frankenstein is still alive, and his journey is going to be a lot more perilous. I know you can't have Penny Dreadful without Ava Green and Josh Hartnett, but one of those mains, I have a feeling, is going to go sometime. And also before the Penny Dreadful timeline, Joan Clayton, as you recall, the Cutwife, Peter Murray, brother of Mina and son of Sir Malcolm, and Mrs. Frankenstein. That's a lot of death. Let's see what we have left. Our current characters introduced in season 1 are beloved Vanessa Ives, the star of the show, quote, Ethan Chandler, unquote, or Ethan Lawrence Talbot, Sir Malcolm Murray, Dr. Victor Frankenstein, the Creature, Dorian Gray, and Mr. Lyle. All introduced in season 1, all still around. In season 2, we introduced Lily Frankenstein, or Brona Croft as before, Hecate Poole, daughter of Evelyn Poole, still alive, Inspector Rusk, which I'm very pleased that he stayed around, Inspector Rusk, because I really feel that Penny Dreadful needs a strong human presence. And Lavinia Putney, the blind girl, she is still alive. So it set us up with quite a few deaths. Quite a few are actually still alive. It's a large spider web. I suppose, if I had a visual way to put it, there's a poster of Dracula 1931 where there's this large spider web and Dracula is behind it and there's all these pieces interconnected. I would actually put Vanessa in the middle and then go out from there. But there are more characters coming, and a few of them you will know. First is Dr. Henry Jekyll. I'm surprised that they brought Dr. Jekyll into this, even though he fits very well. Everyone suffers with duality. The Creature suffers from duality. He's very poetic and at the same time he's a killer. You've seen what's happened with Vanessa Ives, the best of friends and the worst of people. You've also seen Ethan Chandler, the very definition of duality, human and the beast. Victor Frankenstein, scientific, romantic, all the characters remaining have a sense of duality. So it surprises me that Dr. Henry Jekyll will be thrown into the fold. I hope he's not like Dorian Gray. And if you haven't listened before, Dorian Gray is our one critique of the show. He really doesn't matter. If you break it down narratively, Dorian Gray is just there as a love interest. You could have wiped his character out and it could have been a tighter show. I understand he is just romantic fodder and there needs to be something like that on the show, but that could have been thrown into any other of the characters and it was a waste of time. I feel it was a really waste of a character, and still, even though he's getting a little interesting in his coalition with Lily Frankenstein, I don't find him very important. And I think it was far too late getting him to kill Angelique. That is my one beef with Penny Dreadful, is Dorian Gray. Dr. Seward, a woman. Very interesting twist, and you know we love Stoker on this show, and we love Dr. Seward. But she's portrayed by the same person that portrayed the Cutwife. Is it possible that Dr. Seward is a reincarnation of the Cutwife? Jared Talbot, father of Lawrence Talbot, has also been cast. Brian Cox from X-Men fame. Other characters that have been cast are an assistant for Sir Malcolm, Dr. Alexander Sweet, which is a zoologist and friends with Vanessa, Samuel Barnett, a secretary for Dr. Seward, and Jessica Barden, an acolyte for Dorian and Lily Frankenstein. Unknown characters. There are two, and they are both Dracula related. The first is obvious, but I'm glad they haven't pulled that card yet. Once you have the count, you can't go back. Lucifer's already been beaten by Vanessa Ives. But one of the most important characters in literature has not shown up, and someone who you would think would be integral to the story. Where is Jonathan Harker, and why is he not on the show? Jonathan Harker is one of the most complex and dynamic characters in literature, going from wonder to madness to romance to rage, from insanity to a savage. By all appearances, he is integral to the plot. He is a widower now. No connection with Dr. Van Helsing that we've seen, no connection with Dr. Seward that we've seen, and no connection with any other character save possibly Sir Malcolm Murray that we've seen. Is it possible that they are saving him for later? I'm not sure, but it would have been nice to take someone like Dorian Gray and replace him with Jonathan Harker, and hopefully Jonathan Harker will show up. There's lots of new characters, lots of new locations, the stakes are getting raised quite a bit, something that we haven't seen before. The characters are separated. Very important characters are gone. Hecate Poole, who supposedly serves the Wolf of God, still remains in London. The Wolf of God has been sent back to America along with Inspector Rusk. The creature has gone up north, a la Mary Shelley. Vanessa is in London with Dorian, with Lily Frankenstein, and with Dr. Victor. Victor is in bad trouble. Victor is the one who I am shocked that he's alive, like we said at this point. If he survives another season, it'll be very surprising. How will Dr. Henry Jekyll figure into the plot? It seems a little bit full, but if anyone can pull it off, it's John Logan and Penny Dreadful. And we're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back at you with the Dracula podcast. Enjoy the clip.
So, let me try to be a lawyer. I'll be like, so I'm like testifying right, and I'm like, hey, so like, a dog was like, and like, kill three people. I could.
19 July. We are progressing. My friend has now a whole colony of sparrows, and his flies and spiders are almost obliterated.
When I came in, he ran to me and said he wanted to ask me a great favor. A very, very great favor. And as he spoke, he fawned on me like a dog. I asked him what it was.
A kitten. A nice little sleek, playful kitten that I can play with and teach and feed and feed and feed.
We're back at the Dracula podcast. Don't forget that Penny Dreadful Season 3 is coming. An official announcement has not been made thus far, but Seasons 1 and 2 are out in Blu-ray. Glorious, wonderful gifts for the holiday season. You've heard me exude in my sumptuous tones more than enough on Penny Dreadful and its meaning in television. Right now, it's the best show on TV. I'm saying it goes above Game of Thrones, and I'm saying it goes above Orange is the New Black and all that kind of thing. I will be ready to put Penny Dreadful up against any of them. If any of you would like to debate with me, go right ahead, but I'm going to win. And now it's time for the media review portion of our show, or as Professor Van Helsing calls it,
the ghastly paraphernalia of our beneficial trade.
Straight up stone cold pimpin'. Is that the word, Lancaster?
Absolutely, stone cold pimpin' John Johnson. No one does it better.
That's right. So we prefaced a while back that our film review today would change your life, and we're not going to let you down. This film is not a horror film. It's not, because we're getting close to Christmas, and I think the holiday spirit needs to hit us all, especially. It was written and directed by Richard Park and Y.K. Kim. It was made in 1987. 83 minutes long, an action, crime, thriller, martial arts bonanza. The film is called Miami Connection.
I got a letter for you.
A letter?
It's from Washington, D.C.
Hey, give it to me.
What's the story?
Give it to me.
Huh?
Give
What's
me
the
the letter.
big secret?
Give me the letter. Give me the damn letter now! Give me the letter.
Okay. You can have it.
Give me the letter now.
Get it. Grab it.
Give me the letter!
So what's Miami Connection, and why the hell is it on the Dracula podcast? Well, as you know, I am a very big Miami Hurricane fan, and thank God we got rid of Al Golden. I'm a lot happier. You can hear it in my voice. Al Golden is gone. The curse is over. A new coach is coming. Hopefully it's Butch Davis. I found out this film from Billy Corben, the director of The U and Cocaine Cowboys, also available on Netflix. But Miami Connection changed my life. The synopsis is, a martial arts rock band goes up against a band of motorcycle ninjas who have tightened their grip on Florida's narcotics trade. This story is so powerful that its main character can hardly speak a word of English.
This looks like your brother. I didn't know you have a brother.
It's my father.
What? This is your real father?
Yes, it is.
Are you sure? I didn't know you had a father. I thought we are all orphans.
This story is so powerful. When the 5-6 friends known as Dragon Sound get on stage and perform, they don't even really need to play their instruments. Songs like Against the Ninja and Friends Forever will rock you to its core. Miami Connection is so wonderful in its writing that you'll wonder why a group of 5 shirtless males living together in one apartment are still straight. More questions abound. When 2 of these 5 shirtless friends are practicing katas outside a college, and one of their feet gets put in another one's mouth, you'll wonder why. How can it happen? Your mind will be blown away by the club owner, which resembles my friend Adam Stover.
What are you in here for, man? Waste my time?
Bitch.
I thought I fired you. What?
You fired me once because of God Dragon Sound? That's bullshit. They came in here to play God songs for kids. Now who you bullshit?
They play a lot better than you, man. Your
They play
music's
nothing
for
but
old people.
kiddie music.
Your music's for old
Hey,
people,
look,
buddy.
fat man, you don't know what music's all about.
I tell you what, are you deaf? You sure don't know how to play, I tell you that.
That's my ass. Tell me,
That's it,
fat
buddy,
man,
you're history.
you're full of
You wanna
shit.
go out here and
You'll be blown away by the fights in the streets, death, screaming, a soundtrack for the ages, and acting abound.
My mother was Korean, and my father was Black American.
Thankfully, this is available on Blu-ray. The quality is not that good, but the movie is so damned awesome it doesn't matter. It is available right now from Amazon or Draft House Films' Miami Connection. It is one of the most important pieces of film history. There are drunk bikers. There are ninjas on motorcycles. There are thugs who are in their 60s. The cocaine trade.
Ready for a good time?
Sure.
Let's go.
I have some good news for you. I scored a new shipment of coke. It's the best.
Have you got a taste?
I think you'll like it. And move a lot of coke in
A
Orlando.
multinational martial arts rock band. And remember, the main character, YK Kim, can't speak a word of proper English, and it won't matter.
Listen to me. I don't want to have any trouble. I just get the job from agent.
This is an estimated $1 million movie. That's all. And it is so fantastic in its storytelling. I can't even go on. There are not enough superlatives in the language of man. I know. Hey, Lawrence, there are a lot of goofs in this film. When Dragon Sound's playing, the finger movements don't match the songs. Well, I'll respond to you. The song and the movie are so awesome, it doesn't matter.
Jimmy's like my brother. I will do anything for him. Anything.
Then you might say, hey, when the Dragon Sound member's head's going on and one of the gang members pours beer on him, leaning in and all this, these are just small points. Stop picking on this movie. We don't pick on things at the Dracula podcast. Actually, that's a lie. We like to rip movies to shreds, but we like to give them credit where it deserves. This is fun. This is interesting. This is a family movie. There's no goofy CGI. But you know what? Don't just take my word for it. Here are some other reviews from Miami Connection. 91 people have rated it on Amazon.com, and it's got 4.5 stars. Here's a review by Jeremy Wong, July 15th, 2013. Quote, before Miami Connection, I was adrift. I didn't know what a movie was. I hadn't even seen movies or film. But now I've seen them all. I don't need to see anything else. I've seen Miami Connection. Sisando Davides, May 15th, 2013. This movie has changed my life and it has taught me all I need to know when facing the world. By Rob, December 9th, 2012. Do yourself a favor and just buy this even if you've never heard of it or seen the trailer. Best movie ever. Hi-ya! Baby Shoe, on July 29th, 2013. Motorcycle Ninjas, a diverse Taekwondo-based rock band. It has it all. If you want to be entertained for 96 minutes, give this a try. 96 minutes of pure ambrosia. On August 11, 2015, Piper Mythisticism. See it to believe it, people. Need some more? Do you? I think you do. This is by Devin on May 20th, 2015. To say this movie changed my life is an understatement. This movie killed me and brought me back to life, reborn in its image. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Only through the elimination of violence can we achieve world peace. And that's the movie's tagline. And the last one by Ian Dower on April 6, 2015. I would give this movie 20 stars if I could. Fans of cinematography and cohesion, this one's for you. And you know these people that say it's bad? Is it possible that it's so bad that it circled itself right around back to excellent? Yeah, it's possible, and if any movie could pull it off, it is Miami Connection. Folks, you gotta see and hear it to believe it. Dragon Sound is coming to your community and it will knock your socks off. This movie will beat you down like a red-headed stepchild. You won't need food or oxygen for at least a month after watching the awe-inspiring power of Miami Connection. You will never make love more proficiently than what you will after the last credit ticks away. And all the while you'll be wondering, wow, this guy can't speak a lick of English. but boy, he tears it up. If I could give this film 550,236 out of 10, I would, but I can't, because we live here on Earth, we of small minds and small consciousness, we, the, quote, US of A of two political parties, we of small intent. Our hearts are really too small to withstand the might of Miami Connection. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with this quote.
My father! My father! I found my father! Oh my God!
Thank you, folks, for that. Remember, Miami Connection is available on Blu-ray. If you don't have it, what's wrong with you? But you know what? We at the Dracula Podcast want to give you value, and if you want value, put that bad boy in your Blu-ray player and it will blow your freaking minds. That's a promise. Well, folks, that's all we've got for you today. Thank you to Lancaster of the House Titmus, Adam Stover, DNE, Rob and Martha of Southgate Media, and most of all, you for listening. I hope you have a wonderfully safe and fun holiday season. Enjoy yourselves. Life is short. Life is hard. There are so many things that divide us, but take comfort in the things that unite us. Love, friendship, and Miami Connection. And most of all, ladies and gentlemen, to you and yours, have a most wonderful, prosperous, safe, and Miami Connection holiday season.
And tremble even yet, so till all was over. God be thanked, my nerve did stand. Had I not seen the repose in the first place, and the gladness that stole over it just as the final dissolution came, as realization that the soul had been won, could not have gone further with my butchery. Oh, righteous God, release this poor creature's soul to thy care. God in heaven, I could not have endured the horrid screeching as the stake drove home, the plunging of rising foam and lips of bloody foam. I should have fled in terror and left my work undone. Oh, my child, I will release you from this curse.